In this demo, I'm going to be having a look at the CNOS assignment 2, question 2.4, remote access and client support. So there's 4 things that we need to configure here. Remote desktop configured correctly. I'll open up my virtual computers. From the virtual computers, I'm just going to maximize that screen. And before I proceed here, I need to check that both these computers are on the same network. If I go into Hyper-V Manager, I'm going to highlight Win10A, go to its settings, click on the network adapter, and check that it's on a private switch, private student switch. That's fine, I'll say OK. Then Windows 10B, I'll go to its settings, check network adapter. This is on the default switch, which is incorrect. It needs to be on a private switch. So both of them are on the same switch. I'm going to say apply and then OK. Next thing I'll need to do is I'll need to check that both of these computers are in the same IP address range. So I'm going to go into 10B, go to the Network and Sharing Center by right-clicking. This is taking some time. Let's see if this one is working. Right, open network and internet settings. Then I'm going to go to Ethernet, change the adapter options. Right click on the Ethernet, go to its properties, TCP IP version 4 property. And this one is set correctly. So I've got 192.168.10.55. That's fine. That's computer A. Now for computer B, let's go into its properties, the network and sharing center. It's frozen. Okay, I'm just going to close it and disconnect to reconnect to it. So B connect. I'm resizing it. Network and internet settings. Ethernet, change adapter. Right click, properties. TCP IP version 4 property. And this one is not set. So I'm going to set it now to 192.168.10.56. The other one was 55. So I'm going to make this one 56. The default, the subnet mask is the same. I'm going to say OK, close. And now both of these computers are configured to be on the same network. In other words, they should be able to communicate with each other via the network. So let's just see if they are discoverable by each other. Network and sharing center. If I scroll down here, and if I go to the network and sharing center, and I go to advanced settings here. Network discovery is on, and file and print sharing is on. So now that I have the basics configured, I'm going to enable each of these computers for remote desktop. How am I going to do that? I'm going to right click on the start, go to system. I'm going to scroll down until I see remote desktop, and I'm going to turn remote desktop on. It's going to ask me to confirm, and I'm going to say yes. The remote desktop has been turned on. I'm not going to configure any of the advanced settings yet. I just needed to enable it. So I can go and take a screenshot of this to show that it has been enabled. You are required to do it for both computers. I'm just going to do it on one, just to take my screenshot. Open my snipping tool, take a new snip, and then I'm going to take a snip of my computer that has been enabled, and I'm going to go into my answer document, and I'm going to paste it here. So remote desktop, this part is done. Okay, so I do have it here. I'm just going to take out the old screenshot that I have. So there's your remote desktop that has been done. All clients can successfully establish an RDP connection with each other. That means that remote desktop protocol, can they actually connect to each other? Going back into my virtual computer, so this one was computer A has been enabled, and I'm going to go and enable it in computer B. Sorry, computer B was enabled. I'm enabling it now in computer A. So again, right click, go to the system, scroll down until I get to remote desktop, click on remote desktop, and then turn remote desktop on. Confirm. So now this is making my computer, I can connect to the computer on the remote network. If I now open up my file explorer, and if I go and browse the network, can you see there's a desktop here that I can connect to that it is showing? So I'm not sure why it's showing me desktop. Okay, so we want remote desktop. So remote desktop connection. So I'm going to open up the remote desktop connection app, and then I'll click on the option. Who am I connecting to? So I can use the computer name that I want to connect to. So in this case, I'm Windows 10A, and I want to connect to Windows 10B. Let's just see for Windows 10B, what is the name of the Windows 10B computer? There's the name. See, the name is not correct. So I'm going to quickly change the name of this computer, rename this PC, and I want to change this to, so then when 10B. I'm going to restart it. Now this should have been done already, but this computer was not configured correctly. See, if the computer names are configured correctly, it makes the rest of the activities much easier to do. So we'll just quickly wait for this to restart. Whilst this is restarting, we can go into this one here. Okay, so this is 10A. Okay. Display, there's different properties that you can configure here. So remote desktop connection. There's B that has restarted. So I'm going to log in again. Okay, so if I now say that I want to connect, just going to close that. This is Windows 10A. So we opened up the remote desktop connection, remote desktop connection, and I want to connect to a computer that is called Subin Win 10B. It says, what is the username and password that you're going to use to log into Subin 10B? So in my case, it is Subin, and my password. Now it says it's establishing a remote desktop connection. I'm going to say yes. And I've successfully now connected to Windows 10B. So I'm currently working on Windows 10A and I've connected to Windows 10B. I'm going to take a screenshot of this to show that I'm connected. So I need to include that I am currently working on Windows 10A and I've now connected to Windows 10B. I can go back into my answer document and then I'm going to paste this here. Okay, so from Windows 10A, I'm connected to Windows 10B. Then it says remote assistance request is created. So the next thing I need to do now is I'm going to disconnect here. And I'm looking now for remote assistance. So I'll say remote assistance. So it says allow remote assistance connections to this computer. Allow remote connections. I can select users. There's advanced settings as well. Okay. So I need to now create a request for remote assistance. This is remote desktop connection. Cancel. How to request remote assistance. So, okay, I just went to go here. Request remote assistance on Windows 10. Control panel, troubleshooting, get help from a friend. So I need to create a request. That should be control panel. And I'm going to search for assistant. Invite someone to connect to your PC and help you. Offer someone or offer remote assistance. Invite someone. The firewall is blocking remote. Okay. So then it's fixed now, and I can close the troubleshooter. So now can I invite? I can create a remote assistance using a invitation or Easy Connect. So there's the invitation, and it's going to be saved in my documents. So I'm going to say it is a remote assistant invitation. I'm going to save it. Give your helper the invitation file and password. So there's it here. Okay, there's the remote assistance request that is connected, that is set up. Okay, so I can take a screenshot of this one. Flip into new. There's the request for remote assistance. I'm going to go and paste this request in my answer document. Right, there's the assistant, and then the helper needs to access the desktop via the remote access invitation. Now, let's have a look at the other option that it gave us there. Okay, so it says Easy Connect is not available. So for remote assistance now, it created the invitation file and it stored it in, let's just go to File Explorer here. There's the remote assistance invitation under Documents. Okay, so I need to copy this invite here. Let's see if it's going to allow me to paste it in the other virtual computer. Okay, so it did allow me to paste. So I'll open it up in Windows 10B, and in Windows 10A, I'm going to go to Remote Assistance again. Control panel. Assistant. Okay, it's generated a new one. So I'm just going to copy the new invite. And I'm going to go into Windows 10B. Just going to delete this one. Paste the new invite. Open the invite. And go and get the password from the other one. There's the password here. I need to accept it. It says waiting for acceptance. You want to allow this person to connect? I'm going to say yes. And now from Windows 10B, I can see what's happening on Windows 10A. Okay, so this is the screen that I can see. Remote assistant is on this computer here. I'm viewing their screen. I can take my screenshot now. And then there's the remote assistant session that has been created. That concludes this demo.